We all know that gender bias exists in multiple areas of life. But what if it also exists in the world of science, medicine? What if it is directly affecting women and their health because there is gender-based discrimination leading to unnecessary deaths? What if that's the case? You see, gender bias is dangerous. It's a serious threat, to say the least. But when it is present in medical research, it directly affects lives. It could be fatal. And why are we talking about this? Because according to doctors and scientists, thousands of women are losing their lives due to heart disease globally because of the misconception that it is a man's disease. Yes, a man's disease. I know what you're thinking. Diseases do not discriminate. So it's obviously incorrect to regard certain diseases as a man's or a woman's disease. Let's tell you more about what has emerged and why we are talking about this today. The answer basically lies in a consensus statement. It has been drawn up by 33 leading health figures affiliated with the British Cardiovascular Society. The consensus statement has been published in the medical journal Heart. It basically aims to ensure parity of care, among other aspects. It has called for the prevention of needless death toll from what is basically a preventable disease. The fact is that heart disease does not discriminate on the basis of gender, and so the statement has said that healthcare professionals and the public mistakenly believed that women's risk of cardiovascular disease was lower than men's. And it goes on to say that globally, cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in women. However, the misconception that it's a man's disease underlines that cardiovascular disease in women has contributed to its under-recognition and under-treatment. It highlighted that women were underrepresented in clinical research about cardiovascular disease. This is extremely worrying. As per experts, there was a discrepancy between men and women when it came to diagnosis and treatment, with women less likely to receive certain treatments or diagnostic tests. Imagine lives being lost needlessly. Simply put, how the correct treatment can actually save lives. But unfortunately, it's not as simple as that. The assumption that it is a men's disease is a huge hurdle. There is a need to prioritize women's health. As per the experts, cardiovascular disease was the #1 killer of women, but many were losing their lives unnecessarily because they were underdiagnosed, undertreated, and underrepresented in clinical trials. Imagine, underrepresented in clinical trials. This is extremely serious and calls for urgent attention. I'm sure you would agree. Women go through enough gender-based discrimination otherwise. It does not have to directly affect their health, their lives in this way. It does not have to be a thing in the world of medicine. Speaking of which, is there sex bias in labs? According to experts, the mice in labs around the world have one thing in common, that's their gender. If you think they are all male, you are absolutely correct, unfortunately. A Guardian report focused on a very concerning trend when it comes to longevity research. According to it, experts say that cages in laboratories across the world are filled with white mice that are all male. Can you believe that? I'm quoting from what the report says. About 75% of the drugs that extend lifespan in mice work only on males. The drugs were developed on male mice, then belatedly tested on both sexes, only to discover the females did not respond. But even though researchers know female mice react differently to drugs to males, there have been 0 studies on separate interventions that could help women live healthier, longer lives. Of course, extending the human lifespan is a crucial challenge and opportunity as well for scientific research today. But is there a sex bias in lifespan research? Is science affected by gender bias? And why should there be such a sex bias at all? And as far as heart disease is concerned, it is about saving lives, not extending lifespan. So a gender bias there is extremely dangerous. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.